Morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
We are in Port Alberni.
Yep.
So we got here a little early because we didn't know how the road was going to be. But it was great. And so we've come down to the quay to look up and down the inlet, go talk to a nice lady in the gift store, and go smell the sweet donuts from the donut shop.
I could smell it. It smells really good. Don't get me wrong. Lovely donuts, Tiana said.
They look really
But
nice. Yeah.
I don't eat. Well, I was basically a chocolate eater. So, the Lin chocolate gold bars, I love those. But I haven't had them in 4 months? Something like that.
Yeah.
Longer.
Yeah. So
I don't want
Christmas.
sugar anymore. And so now if I go into a place, I can smell the sugar.
We could smell it outside. And I was like, oh, the donut shop is still here. Because I used to live in Port Alberni. This was my very first teaching job when I left university. I got to live out at Sprout Lake, and I taught at Mount Arrowsmith. It's a good name for you. It was a junior high school, and I taught half-time art and career and personal planning to grades 7, 8, 9. Good experience. It was a little scary moving out here all by myself, but I was here for 4 years. So, yeah, this was my first teaching experience in this sawmill town.
So it's a nice pier that we're walking on.
Before the pandemic, they did have a few cruise ships come in here, so they had to have, I think this was built for that maybe, because it was never this big when I lived here.
Well, it's beautiful scenery.
So I'll turn it around and show you. What's he doing over here? We got a seagull playing with something.
I think it's a shell. It looks like a shell or something. Does that fit down your throat? He ate it.
He ate it. Oh, alrighty.
Well, he knows best, but that's a hard thing. Okay.
That's the mill over there. There's Hope Mill and...
Go up the inlet. It's really pretty up there.
Okay. And there's Mount Arrowsmith. And up the inlet. And if you take a boat, in the summer you can take the Lady Rose. I think that still goes up there, which is I don't know if they call it the mail run, where there's a few people that live up the inlet here and there, and they go and take them supplies, and you can go along for the ride and go all the way to Bamfield, which is a very tiny village. There's a road out there, but it's a rough road.
And Mount Arrowsmith is right there in all her glory. So we are on the other side of that in Qualicum Beach. So we see it from our house, just not as large. We're spending time back in Cathedral Grove because it's on the way home. And we thought we need some nature.
I'm wearing my dress clothes in the forest.
She has to go to the office after this. So we're just spending about 10 minutes because we got through early in Port Alberni. So we're just stretching our legs a little bit. And guess what? We've had sun all week. Beautiful weather.
It's been gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. The weekend forecast, huge amounts of rain, both days. And it's a filming weekend. So
that's why we took this opportunity to film driving in and out of Port Alberni. And then we thought, okay, we'll make a quick stop here in Cathedral Grove. And this is the opposite side of the highway from when we filmed a few weeks ago with the music.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, we might end up doing more in-the-house things this week, or this weekend, because of the weather. Hi. Good morning. Yeah. So look at this. It's amazing. This is the other side of the little river that we filmed in our last video.
Oh, look at.
Oh, there's a little duck. Oh, that's nice. Taking their time.
Oh, let's come back this way. Yeah. You have the better zoom than I do. No, I don't have my glasses on. Has he got little ruffles on the back of his head?
I've got sunglasses on.
Oh.
He's got a burnt orange or burnt brown
Might be a
head.
merganser, which are popular around here.
Oh, that is so nice to see. Oh,
So we're stopping by the river here, and it's so peaceful. It is too bad that there's the highway nearby, but we can have a moment in the wilderness with the trees and the water because of the cluster F that's happening in the world right now.
yeah, it's anxiety producing.
Yeah,
And
you can
best not to watch too much news.
No, I check the news, or I'm checking something for work, and then on the side, news stuff comes up. I didn't ask for it; it just comes up, and you can get overwhelmed. And so, then you have to remember that there's other parts of the world and other things happening. And coming out to a place like here in Cathedral Grove, where you're just in nature, then that sort of roots you back and just says, like life goes on.
Well, nature's constant.
Yes.
The earth is constant. It's humans that are the issue.
Yes.
Just in general. I mean, nature, the animals, they just do what they do. Mm-hmm. And the earth can heal itself. And I think we learned that during the pandemic when all the waterways were starting to clear out when people weren't in them.
Yeah, what was
polluting
it?
Them.
Like dolphins coming back to Venice or something.
Yeah.
Forget. There's something where dolphins were going back into the area and they hadn't been there.
And the air quality around certain cities just completely started to clear itself out.
And like we just saw a beautiful duck or merganser just floating down the stream here. And they have no clue what's going on in the world. They're just here in
There's our backdrop.
in the forest, and they've got no worries other than, is there a fish around? You know, can I find a fish?
Well, and if you're a prey animal, is that big thing going to come by and get me?
Yes.
I mean, so they have their worries.
Yes.
But just the fact that, you know, these trees are constant, nature's constant, the sun is going to rise, and the moon's going to come up in the evening. You know, the wind in your face. Just remembering those things. And when you're out, ask yourself, what am I seeing? What am I feeling? What am I hearing? Like right now, I've got a bit of breeze on my face, which is really nice. It is damp in here. It's a rainforest. We have hanging moss for a reason. So it's a little bone chilly.
It's still cold. I didn't wear my gloves so that I could handle my camera, and I'm tucking them up in my coat.
But at the same time, that feels good because you're feeling something. And so if you're stressed about anything that's going on, we always recommend going out into nature. If you're in a city, you likely have some parks. Even if you just go and find a quiet little corner tucked away somewhere, lean up against a tree, ask yourself, am I hearing birds?
Watching the clouds, just
cloud
clouds
watching.
floating by. We saw some amazing clouds just driving up to, just before we got through the Arrowsmith Pass here. They were like waves, like the river waves here. They were very swoopy, so there must be some good wind turbulence up there.
I'm going to incorporate them into a painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just, so much to paint. And now I have time. So,
Yes.
guess who's going to be doing a lot of that again? Thank you. Yeah. So let's walk a little bit because we do have to get back to the car. But we just wanted to share with you a little bit more. I mean, if you're watching this channel, you know that this is part of what we do. We go back to nature. Just because it makes us feel good every time we're in nature. And yeah, I think it's important to remember you can get so wrapped up in your life, deadlines, projects, whatever it is that you do for a living. Everything can seem so important, and then you don't pay attention to your own body. I think it's important to spend some time with yourself, away from all that. I mean, work's important. I shouldn't say it's not. It is. It's what we do. A lot of people identify. We all do it. We all identify. What do you do for a living? But, and there's so many books written about it, but it is really true. Something I've learned is, yes, you can be good at your job. You want to be good at your job. It's also important to have that satisfaction. But I have to say it, if you get sick, are you thinking about your job? No. You're thinking about your family. You're thinking about the times that you spent with your family, loved ones, and experiences. And things like this, like being out in nature, going on family trips, things your parents have passed down to you. Like, for me, my mom used to bring us rock hounding. So whenever we went to beaches, we would always look for rocks and beach glass and things like that. And I actually created a series of graphite rocks that's on my art site. If you want to go look at them, you can. But it's the memories behind, the traditions behind things that are passed down to us. For me, they're not just rocks. They're the memories of my grandmother, my mom, and my sister being on the beach. My grandma wasn't with us for too long. She passed when I was 4. But I still remember one time on the beach down in Birch Bay, on the other side of the border. We used to spend our summers down there. And so that's a nice memory to have that. And so I would go on the beach and look for rocks. And when we moved here, I went on the beach and I collected a bunch of rocks here. And those are the ones I've drawn. And with my mom not being well now, those memories sit with myself and my sister now because she's forgotten. And I just feel that in the end, it's those things that are most important. And yeah, the things you learn as you go along. We spend so much time out in nature when we can. And if we don't, we can get all wound up tight.
Rangy, as I say.
She calls it rangy. It's a good word. I don't know where did you get that from?
I don't know.
Rangy.
Look at these ones here.
Oh, I wish you could stand there. These are enormous. Okay.
Well, if I stand back
you have
here,
to
you can
see.
see the size.
Okay.
Right?
I'm just going to pull the camera back. We're not going to worry about editing and all that kind of stuff. Let's just show you look at the size of that. And then you see a little bit. So these are fallen, but yeah. You couldn't fit that in the inside of my car.
The one down on the bottom there, I could probably walk under it and not have to bend down
No,
at all.
No, it would take up the whole circumference of the car. Yeah. Oh, I could nap. If it were warmer, I'd be laying on that mossy tree, having a nap. But this green is something that not a lot of people get to see, especially in winter. It's almost fluorescent. I just love that about living on the West Coast. It's like everything in a teddy bear coat. It's nice to see actually during a weekday to have all these people coming to visit the park. We're always at work, so we don't get to see that. We only come on weekends. So I was just saying it's really nice to see all these people come to visit the park during the weekday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of visitors and things. In the summer, this is jam-packed. You can't even get parking. So we don't usually come in the summer. But we're heading back to the car now to get home, and Tiana gets to go to work. We are off to Cowichan Bay.
Yeah.
And it's sunny. Well, that's what you said.
No, I said go to Port Alberni since we already have some shops in Port Alberni.
Okay, we're going to one of the two places. We originally thought that we'd go to Tofino today because there's an art show out there that we wanted to see. But the weather on that side of the island was supposed to be raining all the time, and we'd just be walking around in a soupy mess trying to take photo on the beaches, and so we thought, okay, we'll go another weekend. We have a bunch of plans to go to some of these smaller islands as well this spring and summer, so we're looking forward to that. So once we get in the car, we'll figure out. I know, we draw straws.
We have some footage from Cathedral Grove on the other side of the highway from our other video, and Port Alberni, because we had to go there one day. And I don't think we should lose the footage.
No.
But we can take you to two different places on the island. as well.
We make the rules. Sort of.
Sort of. Straws will let you do that.
The weather is pretty much dictating everything we're doing lately. But either way, we're getting in the car after Tiana packs food.
Because
She's scared we're going to starve to death everywhere we go.
no, because we do, and then we don't go get food, and then I get hangry. So we need food.
Don't want to be around that.
And,
Okay.
And in the last video, you'll know if you watch that one that I wasn't even there at the end of the video because I wasn't feeling great because I had vertigo.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want Tiana to get dizzy again.
No. That wasn't hunger, though.
No, it wasn't hunger.
No.
No, that was an inner ear thing.
Yes. So either way, you can always do that maneuver in the back seat of the car. Although that sounds like something else. Not that. Get your head out of the gutter. It's a maneuver for the inner ear. So crystals go into one of the tubes in the ear, and then you have to move the head a certain way to move it out of the canal. That's the maneuver I'm talking about. Anyway, we're leaving.
So we're coming into Little Qualicum Falls, which is on the way to Mount Arrowsmith and Port Alberni.
We picked Port Alberni to be consistent with our previous footage.
It's spring break right now, and the kids are all out of school, so I have no idea how busy it's going to be in some of these more touristy spots.
Well, a lot of people are staying in Canada for vacations and everything, so
yes,
this summer is going to be pretty busy on Vancouver Island. I mean, it does get busy, but I think we're going to probably be seeing a lot more vacationers than even usual. Yeah, which is great.
They've been saying people are canceling their plans to go down south, and they're staying here.
Mm-hmm.
And the arbutus trees. Oh, look at these lovelies. Oh, it's busy. There we go.
This is our version of busy.
And look at the Canadian flag. Yes. You're seeing more of that on cars and things lately.
Okay, so we've parked and we're going into the little trail that leads us down to the falls.
Lower Falls.
Lower Falls. So we had a little guy making his way up the stairs, and they're pretty deep stairs. So he was being shown how to get his little legs up there. So cute.
They're telling him to look up so he didn't bump into us.
Look up, because he was going to bump right into us. Here we go. Isn't that beautiful? Wow.
That's pretty full with all the rain we've had.
I'm surprised it's not even higher.
The mist coming off from the falls there.
I can feel it on my face.
Yeah.
So we've decided to go the full circle around the falls, which will be nice. Which eventually leads us back to the parking lot. So it's about 20 minutes up some nice little trails. Oh, and the air is so nice and fresh. Every time we get out of the car at one of these spots and get that beautiful forest air, I always make sure to get a big bunch of lungs filled with it. Oh, here's a pretty spot. Okay.
Look at the moss on that. How? So it's just on that one half.
Yeah.
That's fun, and it's not flat moss.
No.
It's like little.
And it's only
I don't know what you call it.
that short little distance up from the base.
So I'll show you here. I don't know if that's true that moss always grows on the north side of the tree.
I have to get my compass out. Don't bring it when we're just going on trips where the car park isn't that far away, technically. And I just love the base. Look at that. Oh, wow. And the way that one limb just crosses over. It's too bad it's not a sunny day, because it would be really pretty in the sun. Isn't that cool? And they're so soft to touch. It kind of feels like a walnut shell, the soft part of a walnut shell. People carving into it, which I don't agree with. Why do you have to do that to a living thing? Anyway, people. Look at the color in this water. It's just magical. Look at that.
Everything, the moss. There's
Oh.
little buds on the trees right now. But then
Yeah.
you've also got some of the brown stuff from the fall.
So as it's swelling over that water right there, that with the white and that beautiful seafoam green.
Yeah.
You can see the light just making it through the arbutus bark. So Tiana just sent me a text and she said she's feeling kind of down, so she went out into Parksville around her office building and tried to find some nature so that she could feel happier. Yeah, it's just one of those days. We've had another hard week, but we're navigating through it. And I was thinking about getting away from my computer right now because I've been doing a lot of work. And I thought maybe I should take my camera, the actual big thing. And if you saw our last video, I always hurt myself now when I pack it. If I have to bring multiple lenses and things, it's fine with, you know, just the body. But even this, with one of my professional lenses on it, I should actually weigh it and see how much it weighs. One of the reasons I'd like to go mirrorless is to go into one of the OM systems. They make beautiful cameras, so easy to pack, lovely little lenses. You can have 5 of those in your bag and you still don't feel them. This is a beautiful camera. It's a Nikon. And I'm grateful to have it. It's capable of anything. But again, the weight. Just, yeah, I'm holding this. A lot of the time I'll just have my hand through and I'll be holding the other side properly. And I'll just, you know, rest it up here. And then it's off my arms. But, and I know I can get harnesses and everything else for it. But really, I don't know. I'm just not into having to pack a bunch of equipment on my body and my waist and everything else just because it's too heavy. So we'll see how it goes with that. But I was thinking, okay, I'll go down to the beach and put some filters on it. And maybe do some slow shutter speeds to get some blurry landscapes. Because I'm wanting to paint some different style of work right now. I think I'm being pulled in some other directions stylistically, and I'm wanting to explore them. So they're not going to be realism. And I'm looking forward to it because it means I can explore color, shape, that I can't necessarily do with realism because objects are a certain color and everything else. So I think should be fun. It's the idea of getting in the car and going down. I'm lazy. I'm tired. But yeah, I think tired is more than lazy. I get the two confused and sometimes don't pay attention to myself. But yeah, I think it might be good. Tiana has motivated me to get the car. All right, let's go down to the beach. And you saw the chicken, right? That's Chester. I have gotten rid of the stuffed animals that were lining that entire thing. I don't really need them anymore, but I had to keep him. All right, let's go to the beach. I tried a couple of different beaches, and I forgot it's spring break, so we have a lot of people visiting, and there was construction and then people sawing things, and so I've come to this one of the little secret beaches that we come to, and hopefully the tides come in now though. But yeah, I'll just set up down there on what rocks I can find and see how this goes. Oh. So when I was going through one of the other entry points for the beach here, I saw these 3 women and they were just in long coats. And I was thinking, are they going swimming? They're actually in the water down there. I would die if I did that right now. I'm cold now and I'm fully clothed. Okay, I'll see if I can see them with the telephoto. So you can just see their heads. Sort of center frame. And they're actually in the water. Good on them. So this isn't ideal. I'm going to put some rocks on the tripod to hold it because it's windy down here. There you go. Don't think that's going to move now. I don't know why I got this bright idea to do this. It's cold. And yes, I know those women are down there in the water. But that's not going to happen. Oh boy. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but half the fun is trying. I didn't mic up or anything, so I hope the audio is working with this and that the camera doesn't fall over in the wind. I'm just going to experiment with some things. I'll see if I can get closer. Okay. So, I'm going to experiment with some things. I'll slow the shutter speed down and I'll move the camera to see if I can, almost like an abstract painting. So I've gone into manual. And it's starting to rain. So, see how fast we can get this done. I'm really nervous at that. That you're kind of going like this with the wind. So we'll see what happens. Hard to do this with these gloves because they're grippy. Yeah, you're really moving around. Okay. I don't think I've got pretty big rocks on there. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit more now. It's hard with the light, and I didn't bring my other filters. I said I was going to. If I put my ND filter on here, then I could slow the shutter speed down a little bit more. Well, I'll just mess around with the camera. Move it faster. What's the worst that can happen? Oh, that's kind of cool. You know when you don't want blurry pictures, then they are sometimes. Then when you're intentionally trying for it. Don't want the camera in there. That's cool. Okay. I might try the forest. It's a little bit more covered. So it's really getting cold. We had some storms last night actually. It was pretty bad. A lot of heavy rain. So I can go down to one of the entryways of the park that we like to go to. We brought you there before. And we'll try this with some trees and see how it looks. Okay, let's go. I honestly don't know how those women are getting in the water. Oh my goodness. I have to hand it to them that they can actually get in the water. Oh, I got cold and we were only out there for, what, 10 minutes? 15 minutes? But the wind as well. That's nasty, but good on them for doing it. Cold plunges. Supposedly good for you. But, yeah, I'm a fish stick until spring, so if I got in there, I'd probably just die. Okay, let's go to the forest. Okay. So, we're going to go into just the entrance of the park here. Let's see if we can get the same effect with some of the trees. Okay, so I'll set this up and maybe I'll go up these trees and see if I can get sort of a painterly effect going up. All right. It's supposed to be working. Well, this is sort of that. It's being creative, which is important. I just had other ideas to get things done today. I have a lot of reading to do for my course, which I can do some of it tonight as well. But this was too much fun to pass up. I got the idea. And now I can't not do it. So it's, let's see, can you see them? So it is these trees right here, and I thought I'd go up them and see what that looks like. So again, slow shutter speeds, and then you get that painterly effect. I can see hardly anything, so I'm going to take my sunglasses off. That's better. Well, it's fun taking you with me into the woods. This always looks like Darth Vader to me. This big lens hood. And we're a little bit more secluded, so I don't feel like I am freezing to death. Actually, I'm going to take this off. Guess who cares if it's blurry? That's the point. Let's see if we can do this without this. It's better when we're going horizontally. Check that out. Let's try this again. This is at 1.6. So it's picking up a lot of the sky because it went up. That is so cool. Okay. Let's try this. Slower movement horizontally. See what happens. Okay, that's kind of predictable. Go faster. Nothing to write home about. Okay, so that was 1.6. Let's go So we'll try something else. And then go back. Again, not my favorite. So sometimes if you sit there and then jiggle around a little bit, let's see what that looks like. And then go back to center. Okay, so I did all that movement and look what happened. Just blurred it a little bit. That's kind of fun. You wouldn't think that that would happen. Oh, I hit the shutter. Let's see what that did. Sometimes this can look like a bad dream. I say a bad dream because, you know, if you have a dream where you're, oh, there's an owl. He's down there hooting. So if you have one of those dreams where you're walking through some area and everything's sort of blurry and hazy and you don't know where you are, that's what this can sometimes look like, which is interesting. I like it. This is fun to do around buildings too. As you know, we're from Vancouver, so if I went on photo shoots in Vancouver, then you could do some really neat things with exposure, with buildings, alleyways. Vignetting in alleyways is really cool. Make it look like, you know, scary Sherlock Holmes kind of stuff. Yeah, just have fun with shutter speeds. I'm going to start doing this with the iPhone and see what I can come up with. Because you can get I have some camera apps that let you go into manual and you can do the exact same thing and you're not packing big stuff. Let's keep trying this. I'm fascinated by this, I think it's an oak tree. So I'm going to move up and down and I'm going to go around a little bit and then go back to center. Yeah, okay. It's a little bit more like it. Now I know that a lot of people watching this today are not into cameras. So I'll be talking about a bunch of things, and I'm not a, professional photographer, but I love photography. So I've been doing this for a number of years, off and on, and I love my cameras, and I enjoy just walking around with one and seeing the world through a lens. I find it calming to come out and do this and just I don't know, just look for compositions and then get creative with the camera. I was going to come out with a prime lens, which means it has one focal point. This, on the other hand, allows me to go in and out, let's say. So it's a 16 to 80 millimeter, which I find this is a fantastic walk-around lens, but it's heavy because it's a professional lens. But it is beautiful. I remember when I first got it, I bought it with the body, and life was never the same with this lens. And I have since my other prime lenses. I have a really nice 80 millimeter prime that can do portraits like nobody's business. And I want to practice that more. I was never really into taking photos of people before, but version 2.0 of me likes people. Taking pictures of people. Not that, okay, I shouldn't say that. I like people. I always like people. But I didn't want them in my photos. I don't know why, but I preferred something like this where there's nobody in it. And now I would actually prefer having some people, not only for scale, but just for interest. What are they doing? What colors are they wearing? So if somebody has a bright outfit on and you're in the city, for example, and they're in a yellow outfit or, the typical umbrella color, But just look for something that bursts those colors in amongst all that cement. And I used to look at the tiny little trees or whatever sprouting up through cement and just think, that little thing wants to live. And we're just walking around it and we're not even giving it some value while we walk around it. So I think it's important to do that. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Like I said, I want this blurry. No, that's some more of that. Up and down movement. Almost looks like the Salvador Dali, you know, the clocks that are dripping off of edges. So let's go down here a little bit more. Leave my tripod here. We're not in a high theft zone. I can go back for it too. Okay, I think you're a little... Oh, it's uneven ground, so I'm trying to keep you from being crooked. There we go. That's not too bad. So, let's see what happens if we go up and down on the edge of this big tree. Look how big this thing is. Look how big that is. Oh, you're beautiful. Okay. So that's cool. Oh, can you see that? Hold on. There we go. And I'll post these. Hi. How are you? Yeah. So that's cool. I got the lady walking in her blue coat. See? Fun with people. So there's been some fun things to do too, is if you change your shutter speed and you're on a busy street, you can actually make the people disappear and you're just seeing the stationary objects. So that's fun. So if you take your, I think I'll put a couple of links to some of the manual apps that you can use for your camera if you have an iPhone. I don't know Android devices. Sorry to anybody that does that, but I'm sure it does the same thing. The some of the Android phones, like the Samsungs and things, are phenomenal cameras as well. So yeah, just go and get a camera app for your phone that allows you to control all of your manual settings, and get an inexpensive tripod. These ones we have that we walk around with all the time. I got them on Amazon, and they telescope. They do have to be a bit concerned with wind and everything because the bases aren't that big. We didn't want to go around and pack something heavy, but they've done really well for us. And I put a different head on there. It's a ball head, so that if we're on uneven terrain like this, I can move it around, whereas the original didn't have that. So again, Amazon. So it didn't turn out to be a lot of money, and you can just set this up and slow down your shutter speeds, or just hand hold it. Slow it down and move your camera around, and then just see what you can get. If you're in the city and you have the tripod, and we're always careful when we're doing this, we don't walk away from it. You just never know. It's kind of sad, I know, but most of the time it might be fine, but I have to say, don't do it. At least it happens when we do this. Oh, that's cool. I wasn't even trying hard. It'd be neat to do this with signage too, neon signs. Again, the city. You can go out at night, another cool thing, and use a flashlight, set this up on a tripod, and there's a whole bunch of YouTube videos on how to do this. But you can set your camera up on a tripod and then just illuminate the object either from the front or the back. Just go around it. You can write with light, which is another cool thing to do. Tiana and I did that in the backyard of her parents' house when we first met. And we were playing around with light and a bunch of objects with my cameras. So that was fun. There's the most beautiful tree just sitting right there. I mean, they're all beautiful, but just sometimes the bark just hits me. It's this bark. Look at the texture in that bark. I'll straighten the camera up. Look at this texture. Okay. I guess I can do. You wouldn't think you'd get that. Oh, hold on. You wouldn't think you'd get that. Yeah. You can also move around the circle. Have fun with it. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. I was going to give up. Look at that. That's fantastic. Oh my god. Okay, so it picked up some of the sky. Oh god, it's like hairs. Oh, that's fun. It almost looks like a skeleton. A little bit like the spinal column. Oh, that's oh my goodness. Okay. So I thought about my initials. Okay. So you can see a little bit of the trees in there. Oh wow, that's just way too much fun. Just go out and spend a lot of money on a camera and just wave it around the forest. Why not? Life is short. Okay. That one had more sky. And I didn't bring a backup battery. I'm surprised it drained this fast. But that's okay. I think so I think we had fun with that. There's so much you can do with slowing your shutter speed down. And it gives me a bunch more ideas for nighttime photography. It's funny, I think I've said this before, and some dog's not happy, that life gets in the way of you enjoying some things that you're really passionate about. And for me, work was sort of all consuming, and I haven't been doing my daily art practice, so I'm getting back into that. This was a good thing to do today because it means I got out into the forest. Sorry, didn't make you dizzy. So I got out into the forest and did something creative today. And I'm going to go home and read about creativity and how to make money from it. Eventually, I'd like to also have an art community where I teach some of my watercolor, graphite pencil techniques and just support other artists. Also with my web design development, other creatives, nonprofits, people doing good in the community. I can really stand behind helping people to help other people with the skills that I have. So there we go, we're back to the car. That wasn't a long trip. But we'll do more of this. I think it's a really good idea to go out and just have some fun with cameras. See you back home. Oops, we're still filming. Oh, that's fun. It's a blooper.
It's lunchtime, and I really need a break.
Nope.
Oh my god, I really need a break. And I'm looking not at the green dot.